Well, unfortunately, there's nobody down here at the rescue squad building. A lot of times you'll have members just sitting around, hanging out, waiting on calls to come in. But we didn't get it this time. But here I'm looking at one of the old historical ambulances here that was in service when I was on the squad in 77, 78. I guess early 70s, maybe late 69 Cadillac. We had two of them. One of them I was in a head-on collision in an ice storm, taking a patient to a hospital, and they were made like armored cars back then. It was a collision that wasn't that big a deal to me. I mean, it messed up the other car pretty bad, but didn't do that much damage to the Cadillac. So, ambulances have really come a long way now. The trucks, you see some of the newer trucks they got. So I don't know if that is 45 or 46 back in the day. 45 KUB 653 in service. The good old days. All right, we're in Sherwood Forest, section of Sayreville. This is the home of Jon Bon Jovi that they sold, or they gave away in a contest on TV in 1989. Still a good looking house here. Where he grew up at. And then went on to fame and fortune, but still one of Sayreville's own. And he always claims to always be one of Sayreville's own. One of the many good features still of Jon Bon Jovi. Still a pretty class guy. All right, there's a little bit of musical history here. Now let's head over toward the Morgan section. Working our way over toward the bay in Morgan. All right, folks, we made our way down to the Morgan section of Sayreville. We're down on the busy, you can hear Route 35. It's always been busy. You can be in the 60s and 70s. Those of you remember, this is where all the go-go bar dancers were all up and down here. Brothers 3, Bachelors 3, I think the name of it all.
Coliseum.
Oh, all of them. But we're here back in the Morgan First Aid Squad. This is, as we talked about earlier when I was in Sayreville, this is where I first started my, I guess you want to say, career in the first aid field. I had to join here, and they took me on, even though I lived down in Sayreville. And I probably lived a good 5 miles, coming through traffic, coming down the highway, to get over here on a call. And it was really somewhat dangerous. My mom didn't really like it, because it was somewhat dangerous coming down Route 35. I had to cross oncoming traffic to get in here. I had my little blue light going. Where all the other members live back in Morgan, they'd be here in 2 minutes. I'd be 10-minute drive coming down. But again, good years. I spent a couple of years here. Being a member of the Morgan squad, I guess it would have been 76 to 77, late 77, 78. Before Sayreville changed the bylaws to allow 18-year-olds for me to come on. But again, a lot of fun times here on the weekends. Again, I was on the police department at the time, dispatcher. I would come down here on some of the weekends because the New Jersey State Police would have their tactical patrol unit would come in and do DUI enforcement. So we would move our ambulances out of the bay, and the troopers would set up their breath lock machines. So they'd come down here and just kick butt. It was a, I'm trying to think of the word, saturation team. And I saw some interesting sights here of the drunks who come in here and want to argue and fight the troopers. And
they were quite saturated.
They were close to first aid. Let's put it that way sometimes, to help them out. But yeah, there was some interesting sights and sounds here with the troopers. But yeah, this is where I began my career in the first aid. Got my EMT certificate training here. As an EMT, CPR and all that. And then I transferred down to Sayreville, and then when I moved to South Carolina, I really got out of it. Because South Carolina has all paid paramedic programs, there's really nothing to go into, and I let it all expire. But again, some great years. I was telling Allen all the way down, one of the calls here that I always remember, I will never ever forget, riding down the street. It was one July 4th, had to be probably 77. A little 10-year-old boy got a 3rd-degree burn from his father's July 4th barbecue somewhere. I believe sprayed, the flame igniter on it and flashed back on the little kid. Had multiple 3rd-degree burns on his body. I was on the call and went down there. I can still hear that little boy screaming and burns. All we could really do was do saline and dressings and all that. We had to take him over to Newark, one of the burn centers in Newark. It was so bad. I believe he did survive. But that was a long ride to Newark from here. That little boy, but you know, I believe he made it. Again, part of the growing up here in Sayreville. I think we're going to wrap it up here. The next little area would be Melrose, small little section, you know, Mechanicsville. You're back near the Raritan Bay, where you can look over and see Staten Island from here, a few miles away. But again, I hope you enjoyed all the sight and sound of nostalgia Sayreville and a little bit of the current. You know, Allen still lives here in Sayreville. I come back here all the time, so I'm a part-time resident. Whenever I can get back up here, I'm coming back up here. Because again, as we say, Jersey boys are always Jersey boys. You may move away, you may be whatever, a Jersey guy.
You can take the kid out of Jersey. You can't take Jersey out of the kid.
Nope. May not would never come back here to move, but I'll always come back to visit. So again, I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy what you've seen. Make some comments. Me and Alan, Don, we enjoyed riding around Sayreville, kind of seeing the sights of the old place and some of the new places, and we're gonna put a wrap on it. And we head back to South Carolina in a couple days, but a lot of good memories. Thanks, Alan, for joining me on the program.
Always a pleasure.
Yep. We'll see you all down the road, everybody.